Hello. We have a tradition in Australia of acknowledging the traditional owners of the land where we gather. So today, no matter where Australian participants are within our country, we pay our respects to traditional owners, elders past, present and emerging. Thank you to Minds and Money for allowing me the opportunity to be with you today. While this event was to be held in my home city of Brisbane, I'm impressed to see how seamlessly it's become an online showcase that has allowed more of an international audience to participate. For those of you that heard my Minister Scott Stewart speak earlier and were hoping for something similar, please lower your expectations just a little. I'm a mere public servant. Instead, I'm going to get in the weeds a little and discuss some of the work that my department here in Queensland is undertaking towards realising the government's ambitions. First, a little relevant history. Queensland's resources sector has been a cornerstone of our economy for well over a century. Queensland became a state in 1859, and within a decade, gold was discovered near a place called Gympie. We've been known as a proud resources state ever since. Gold was followed later in the 1800s by discoveries of tin and copper. During these early days, prospectors fanned out north and west, but it wasn't until the 1920s that the discovery of the world-class Mount Isa deposit was made, with its rich copper and lead production continuing to this day. In the 60s and 70s, Queensland's resources sector began to transform and expand with an increase in coal mining, driven particularly by the post-war development of Japan. We built upon those foundations from the 80s onwards and opened up the Bowen Basin for coal mining and have become one of the largest coal exporters in the world, thanks to tremendous investments in mine development and infrastructure, such as railways and ports in particular. More recently, over the past 10 to 15 years, we've created from scratch an entirely new industry around coal seam gas and massive exports of liquefied natural gas. Why the history lesson? Because it demonstrates our immense propensity for change. At each turn, the government and the resources sector have worked together to rise to the challenge of change, seize the opportunities and capture the progress that comes with it. It speaks to Queensland's appreciation and acceptance of the importance of the resources sector to our prosperity, our economy and our communities, which is good to know because, as you all know, there's much more change to come. As global trends transform industries, economies and societies, trends like climate change, automation and ESG, we can be confident based on our past that we can again emerge stronger. We know this, and that's why the Queensland Government is deliberately planning for the future through the Resources Industry Development Plan, which I know the Minister spoke about. Key to that plan is our renewed focus on exploring for and producing the new economy minerals that represent our next great pivot. These are, of course, the minerals that will be required for our low emissions future. In fact, perhaps the greatest contribution Queensland can make to global decarbonisation is to find the minerals that will allow the world to rapidly electrify the economy and deploy renewable energy. Apart from the copper required to build electrical motors and devices, it's the growth in demand for energy storage that opens many new opportunities for our minerals sector here in Queensland. These days, we hear a lot about lithium-ion batteries, but the range of elements being trialled in various battery uses spans a far broader range of minerals, including cobalt, vanadium, silver, and manganese. But we know we can't mine these minerals if we don't find them. Every mine starts its life with a discovery. And so to secure the future of the industry and to make our contribution to global decarbonisation, we know we need to support exploration. That's why back in 2019, the Queensland Government committed $13 million for the New Economy Minerals Initiative. As the name suggests, it's framed squarely at helping work towards developing new sources of supply, new supply chains, and ideally new industries in Queensland based on our endowment of the minerals needed for the new economy. Using the funding provided under the New Economy Minerals Initiative, our department is engaged in a range of geoscience projects to delineate and quantify the state's new economy minerals potential. A wide range of geophysical, geochemical, mineral synthesis and analytical programs are underway with a focus on both the Northwest and Northeast mineral provinces. In addition, the Department of Resources has awarded 2 rounds of collaborative exploration initiative grants since November 2019, with initial funds boosted by the additional $10 million over 4 years announced last year. Those grants are primarily directed to explorers seeking new economy minerals, with the most recent round expanding the search area outside the northwest and northeast to include southwest Queensland and the Wide Bay Burnett region. However, it's not only about what we supply, but also the how. Queensland's long history of resource development means we have outstanding mineral processing, transport and export infrastructure, which is supported by a depth of experience in engineering and materials handling. We will be leveraged this established infrastructure and this history and experience as we adapt to the production of new economy minerals. Another advantage for us here in Queensland and Australia more generally is that capital markets are sending very clear messages to industry about the importance of satisfying ESG criteria as a condition to attract capital. Customers are doing the same, driving a growing demand to be able to confirm the provenance of minerals used in products like electric vehicles. Tesla, for example, is supporting various initiatives to reassure customers about the ethical supply of minerals used in their products. Queensland's strong regulatory frameworks, fair wages, respect for contractual agreements, recognition of landowners, cultural heritage and native title rights, and low sovereign risk offer proof of our ethical and responsible supply credentials. It's not just our deposits of new economy minerals that is a valuable resource. It's another resource that our department has abundant quantities of that we think is very valuable for our sector, and that is data. Last year, we launched the Geological Survey of Queensland's open data portal, which provides industry exploration reports spanning the last 150 years, all completely free and available to you online. There are some 80,000 exploration reports and many other valuable data sets within the open data portal. We believe that providing this data will allow for informed investment and exploration decisions and give more certainty for large and small explorers. It's all about making critical information more accessible and mapping out a roadmap for exploration for decades to come. And we're very eager to see what comes out of the sharing of this data. There is so much more I could talk about. For example, I've not even touched on the growth of the mining equipment, technology and services, or so-called METS sector here in Queensland. I recently had someone describe the Bowen Surat region of the state as the Silicon Valley equivalent for the global resources industry. Backed by outstanding academic work in institutions like the University of Queensland Sustainable Minerals Institute, the METS sector is a source of enormous growth and innovation. So in summary, the opportunity before us is for Queensland to take a leading position in the new economy. But more than an opportunity, I think we have an obligation to develop the new economy minerals we have in the interests of global decarbonisation. Without those minerals, tackling climate change will be so much more difficult. I'm confident, and the government is confident, that Queensland's resources sector will continue to thrive and transform. I'm confident because our history has shown we've done it time and time again. Once again, thank you to Mines and Money for giving me the opportunity to speak to you all today. Have an enjoyable conference. Thanks.